Sure.
So in FICO applications, what we are going
Mm-hmm.
to discuss and why we are learning FICO applications and why the if you
Mm-hmm.
see the job market in SAP,
Mm-hmm.
especially for ERP financials, in SAP
Mm-hmm.
financials has a huge demand compared with other modules. The
Mm-hmm.
main reason is so
Mm-hmm.
this finance department plays a major role in any organization. If you take any type of organization, finance is mandatory. Say for
Mm-hmm.
example, if you take banking industry, if they are implementing SAP applications, in that finance applications are most important. Even if you go to manufacturing organizations, there as sales and distribution, material management, production planning, like this, lot of modules are there. But finance
Yeah.
department plays a major role. So
Mm-hmm.
take any type of industry, finance department is the major source for any organization. It is mandatory. And the second point is, what are the concepts we need to learn in FICO? So
Mm-hmm.
some of the traditional concepts are there. Some of new
Mm-hmm.
enhancements has been introduced nowadays in the market. So
Mm-hmm.
recently they had introduced into the market. So what are the new functionalities? What is traditional financial system? So everything we need to understand in clear picture. So let us come to the conceptual wise. So in FICO, what
Mm-hmm.
concepts I am going to explain?
Mm-hmm.
As you are the fresher, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
take care about in general ledger more because I'm going to take.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, I will take general ledger classes for 2 to 3
Mm-hmm.
sessions, but for
Okay.
you, I'm going to take
Mm-hmm.
minimum 5 sessions. Okay.
Okay.
Because if you know the general ledger concept, okay, you can cope up with all the finance applications. That is a
Yeah.
basic thing.
Oh, okay.
So here, the first point is according to your requirement, I'm designing the concepts.
Mm-hmm.
The first point in finance application.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to discuss about organizational structure. For this, nothing finance background is required because this is nothing but enterprise structure. We are setting up company code, business area, all
Mm-hmm.
these things.
Okay.
You can say organization setup or enterprise structure. So after
Mm-hmm.
that, I'm going to explain some of the global settings. So in global settings also finance knowledge is not required. Why? Because this is a common settings for every organization, such as financial year, posting periods, document number ranges, so tolerance limits. These are all common things. Every
Mm-hmm.
consultant need to understand. Whether you do not have the
Okay.
finance background also, you can understand very easily. So,
Mm-hmm.
but when we are going to start with general ledger concept, so first class, what I am going to do is I am going to take the brief overview about the
Mm-hmm.
explanation of general ledger.
Okay.
Explanation of general ledger. So that means this is
Mm-hmm.
theoretical class, the GL explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Normally for
Okay.
finance background people, it is not required. So
Oh, okay.
then we are
Mm-hmm.
going to construct the GL structure,
Mm-hmm.
implementation, general ledger. Once the implementation is done, I'm going to explain you how to design the general ledgers.
Mm-hmm.
That means how to create the general ledgers. Creation of GL. So that
Mm-hmm.
if you are up to creation of GL, you are perfect. You are able to create
Mm-hmm.
any type of general ledgers.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. So then based on this, I'm going to explain you the end user applications. So in end user applications, you need to concentrate
Mm-hmm.
more. Why? Because I'm going to take
Mm-hmm.
a special session for this. This is
Okay.
understanding financial instruments, accounting instruments,
Mm-hmm.
understanding debit and credit, you can say. We can say debit and credit. So once it is clear, I'm going to start with front-end application. In front-end application, there are
Mm-hmm.
total 5 types of applications are there. That means with different types of postings are there. In each and
Mm-hmm.
every case, whether you are from finance background or whether you are not from finance background, you need to understand the conditions.
Okay.
Normal document. So why we are using normal document? In which condition we need to use normal documents?
Mm-hmm.
So then holding documents, reversing documents, recurring documents, then simple documents. So these are all the types of documents. While we are posting the transaction, once if you understand what is debit and credit, it is very easy to post the transactions. Only the thing is we need to understand where we need to use normal documents, where we need to use holding documents, where we need to use reversing documents, like this. Based on the condition, we need to understand it.
Okay.
Right? Then finally, after end of the each and every document, I am going to show you the reports.
Okay.
So this is completely from front-end application. So
Okay.
once the GL concept is clear to you, you are very perfect to enter any type of transaction in any mode. Neither it is normal document or holding document or a recurring document. You can enter anything. And finally, you are generating the reports. So once if you are perfect up to this concept, the remaining concepts are very easy to understand. Okay. So the next concept, we are going to deal with accounts receivables. Normally, in every organization, customer accounts are most important because we whatever the goods we are producing, we are selling to the customers. So normally, the customers request the credit from our organization. In most of the cases, they don't purchase through cash, so they are going to purchase in the form of credit. So if your company is going to give any credit to the customers, this concept is known as accounts receivable concept. So here, you need to understand from the customization side, you need to understand how to update account groups. Based on that, how to design the number range for customers. That is nothing but customer ID number. Then some GL concepts such as sundry debtor and also accounts receivables account. We need to create some general ledgers. Creation of reconciliation ledgers. Based on this, these are all from implementation side. Once if you are perfect in implementation side with account group number ranges and creation of reconciliation accounts, so in front end application, you are able to create customer, creating a customer. Based on that, with the same customer, we need to create invoice. Then for every invoice, the customer is going to make the down payment, understanding down payment. Then whatever the installment plans we are giving to the customer, that is known as partial payments. How to clear partial payments. Finally, report, customer report. So like this, we have some elements under accounts receivable application. Along with this, normally whatever the credit we had issued to the customer, if they had failed to make the installment plans, we have some other procedure is there, which is called correspondence letter. Normally, in real time scenario, if you say, if you have a credit card, so if you defaulted to make the payment of credit card for 1 month, so what the credit card department will do? Deepika, so say for example, you have a credit card, okay, and you have failed to make the payment of credit card payment for 1 month.
Okay.
What the credit card department will do?
I don't know actually. They'll call back to us and just
First, they will call back
let
to
us
us.
know what's the reason for
Yes. So they are asking some
reason for.
reasons. Okay. So even though if you are not fulfill a perfect reason, they are going to send some notice. Okay. That means, say for example, correspondence. You can say correspondence or a reminder letter, whatever it may be. So there is first letter is a normal correspondence. Even if you are not respond for the first letter, they are going to calculate some interest along with the correspondence letter.
Okay.
So then, even though if we did not respond for the interest and also the correspondence letter also, they are finally they are going to send some legal notice.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a common thing in every business, whatever you take. So in accounts receivables also, we have same procedure. Say for example, the customer failed to make the partial payment, installment payment. Immediately, our FI people, what they are going to do is they are going to design some dunning notice. Dunning notice is nothing but a correspondence letter, and we are going to forward this correspondence letter. Even the customer did not respond for that notice, we are calculating interest.
Okay.
Interest calculation for dunning notice, and finally we are sending some notices. So then we have one more concept is there, which is called TDS. TDS, or you can say tax deducted at source, or you can say withhold tax. Why? Because is normally while we are giving services to the customers, so we are calculating some tax. So that tax is known as TDS. All these concepts are the part of accounts receivable concept. So then we are going to discuss about accounts payables. This is also one of the elements. So normally in normal language it is called accounts payables. So in normal language it is called vendor accounts. Say for example, if we are purchasing any goods from vendors, we need to record in the books of accounts. For this also, we need to understand account group for vendors, then number ranges, so creation of ledgers, creation of reconciliation ledgers. Based on this, we are creating a vendor, creation of vendor. So based on the vendor, we are posting purchase invoice. Here it is called sales invoice. So here it is called purchase invoice. Procedure look like same, but that is customer data and this is vendor data.
Okay.
So then down payment, whatever the down payment we are paying, that should be recorded, and then partial payments. So you can say this is incoming payments and this is outgoing payments, accounts payables.
Okay.
So then here there is no dunning notice. So finally we need to generate the report first. So here there is no dunning notice because we becomes a customer. So and we are purchasing the goods. So there is no dunning notice at all. There is no interest calculation. There is no TDS. But we have one more element is there called house banks. So why we are using house banks? So here the point is, whenever you are going to purchase a goods from the vendor, we are going to make the payment in two methods. One is directly you can make the cash payment, or sometimes in most of the times we are going to make the payment in the form of checks or electronic bank method, whatever it may be, standing instructions. So that means the payment is going to deduct from bank accounts. So in that case, you need to maintain some check digit calculation procedure through which check you are issuing the payment, and so how it is being reflected in the bank accounts, and also how it is being reflected in bank reconciliation statement (BRS), and how the electronic bank statement will be generated, manual bank statement will be generated. So these are all the common things of accounts payables. Along with this, we have one more concept is there, which is called automatic payment program. We are giving a standing instructions every month based on this automatic payment program, the partial payments is going to deduct. So these are all the part of accounts payable concept. Then once it is clear, finally we are discussing about asset accounting. So normally in every organization, the organization is going to purchase different types of assets, such as land and building, so furniture, so you can say machinery for running of goods. So like this, we have different types of assets are there. These are called asset classes in accounting language. How to construct these asset classes? Based on the asset class, so here we need to understand asset class. Based on the asset class, how to update the asset accounting. asset accounting. So then we need to understand how to calculate the depreciation methods. So normally, I think you heard about this word. There are different types of depreciation methods are there in accounting. So
Mm-hmm.
for calculating tangible assets, not intangible assets. So
Okay.
tangible assets means which is visible. So if you
Okay.
want to calculate the depreciation run for machinery, or if you want to calculate the depreciation for land and building, or anything, whatever it may be, this process is known as depreciation.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, how to create the asset in front-end application. Based on the asset, whenever you purchase asset, how to post the purchase of asset with vendor, and also how to generate the reports for depreciation.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all the concepts. But by the end of the day, so whatever the asset you are purchasing, you are able to calculate the depreciation after 10 years or 15 years, whatever it is specified by the organization. So
Okay.
this concept is known as asset accounting.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have four types of important applications are there. One is
Mm-hmm.
general ledger,
Mm-hmm.
then accounts receivables, then
Mm-hmm.
accounts payables, and asset accounting.
Okay.
Okay. Along with this is a completely a traditional system, standardized system in accounting.
Okay. Okay.
So SAP has introduced a new functionality which is also called as new general ledger.
Okay.
This is especially used for document splitting. That means to prepare the reports in a easy method.
Okay.
Splitting and parallel accounting. So that means if you have multiple branches, how the system is
Mm-hmm.
going to automatically split the statements in the journal wise or area wise or country wise, whatever
Mm-hmm.
it may be. This is called document splitting. And if you
Okay.
want to perform the activities at a time in different locations, how we need to
Mm-hmm.
perform. This is called parallel accounting. So this is a
Okay.
concept which is newly introduced in SAP FI applications.
Okay.
Okay. So then, so after completing this, one second. So after completing these applications, that means purely FI
Mm-hmm.
applications, we are going to
Okay.
discuss about controlling applications.
Okay.
So most of the people are saying controlling is very difficult. But according to
Mm-hmm.
my sense, controlling is very easy compared with FI.
Okay.
Because the data which we are implementing is going to flow up to the end of the
Mm-hmm.
controlling applications. So that is easy to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here it is individual concepts. Account payable is an individual concept. Asset accounting is an
Okay.
individual concept. Accounts receivable
Mm-hmm.
is an individual concept. But in controlling, so every day we have an interlink between one class to another class.
Okay.
Okay. So in controlling applications, what we are going to learn. So here the first point is I am going to explain the organizational structure for controlling. Organizational structure.
Mm-hmm.
Once it is clear, we are going to discuss about the concept called cost elements. Cost elements. Then we are going to discuss about cost centers. So then, which is called cost center accounting. These two combination is known as cost center accounting. And we are
Okay.
posting the transaction with cost elements and cost centers. And finally, we are generating the reports.
Okay.
So that concept is clear there. Cost elements and cost
Mm-hmm.
centers is clear there. Then
Mm-hmm.
after completing this concept, I am going to discuss with internal orders. So here again we have two types of orders are there. Simple order. So simple order means creating a order number and we are integrating to
Mm-hmm.
cost elements and cost centers and we are posting and we are generating the reports. So once if you are updated with up to simple orders, you are able to
Mm-hmm.
update cost element, cost centers with order number and we are posting the transactions. Then
Mm-hmm.
once it is cleared, I am going to explain about. So simple orders, you can say statistical orders also. In accounting language, it is called statistical orders.
Okay.
So then I'm going to explain about real orders. So whenever a organization takes a order, so how it is going to split to different departments. So this concept is known as real orders. So in real orders, according to the budget, we need to maintain it. So budgeting is very important. Then profit center accounting is also very important. And finally, again, we are integrating all the elements and we are preparing the reports. So once if you clear up to real orders, you are very perfect to update up to controlling applications in real orders along with cost elements and cost centers. Then once this concept is clear, I'm going to discuss about very important concepts: integration between FICO and MN, material management. Because if you want to design any purchase order, so the integration between FICO and MM is mandatory. Then why we are creating as a finance consultant, why I am updating the purchase order? Because to understand the product costing. So to fix the price of the product, so we need to understand how the material is designed and what are the elements to be considered from the accounting point of view for the material. So this concept we need to understand very well. Then once it is clear, I am going to discuss about integration between SD and FICO. Why? Because it's to prepare the sales orders. So based on these purchase orders and sales orders, you are going to learn product costing. In product costing, we are going to fix the unit wise costing for every product. We need to understand it. And based on this, we need to understand how to prepare the cost sheet. So cost calculation, credit costing. So all these things are the part of product costing. So once it is clear, then we are going to discuss about profitability analysis. So profitability analysis means how to prepare the balance sheet and profit and loss statement. So, and also how to generate the COPA reports and profit center reports. All these things are the part of profitability analysis to analyze the how much profit we are getting to generate after generating the order. So these are all the concepts under controlling applications. Then we are going to discuss some of the additional concepts which is a new enhancements. New enhancements. So this is recently introduced in FICO. So here we need to understand what is the difference between SAP R3 system. That means whatever the system we are using in a traditional system is known as R3 system, which works in Oracle database, and how it is different from HANA database. Because according to the US market, if you consider, everybody is using HANA database, not R3 database.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need to understand what is the accounting powered by HANA and what are the difference between Oracle database and HANA database. What are the new functionalities? Then we need to understand some of the reporting tools which is recently introduced into the market, which is called Luminar. Luminar and Productive Analytica. So these three are very advanced concepts and also recently introduced in 2015 only. Okay. And once all these concepts is clear, so I'm going to give you a small presentation in FSCM functionalities. FSCM is nothing but the extension concepts and highly advanced concepts for FICO. So here what I'm going to explain is just a overview of credit management. What are the new features used in credit management? what is collections management, what is dispute management, and also a new tool called bill or direct. Along with this, we have some more elements is there which is called treasury and risk management. So then in-house cash, and finally cash and liquidity. So these are all new features. Okay. So we need to understand the difference, because if you want to get the job in finance market in SAP, you need to understand what are the new functionalities and what is the how we need to use that functionalities. Okay. So for all these concepts in FI as well as in CO, I have my own material. You can see material in my system also.
Oh, okay.
1 second, I will show the material also. This is my own material. Whatever the things I'm going to explain in SAP system, I'm going to explain all the classes in SAP system itself, in the live access.
Oh, okay.
So first I will give a small introduction for each and every concept in Excel sheet. Then I'm going to explain the each and every concept in configuration side, at the same time end user side and reporting.
Okay.
And one more thing is, I'm not taking system delivered company codes anywhere. I'm going to design my own company code architecture.
Okay.
This is my own material.
Okay.
So in this material, you can find each and every step. So each and every step, what we are going to discuss, what is the TC code, and for each and every concept, I have designed like this. So from introduction, say for example, if you take enterprise structure, today we have learned about enterprise structure. So a small description, path, as well as the screenshots.
Oh, okay.
So like this it is designed for each and every concept. So for FI as well as CO. Okay. So then up to after completing each and every concept, say for example we had completed the general ledger up to report. Okay. After this, I'm going to give a small assignment related to general ledgers.
Okay.
So to understand in more effective way. After accounts receivable also, I'm going to give a small assignment. Like that, for every concept, I'm going to give a small assignment.
Okay.
And the total time required to complete these applications is, so in FI, I required 15 sessions. 10 to 15 sessions I required.
Okay.
And for CO, I required 15 sessions.
Okay.
Along with new enhancements, whatever I had explained to you.
Okay.
Total 30 sessions I required to complete this FICO application.
Okay.
So if you have a time, we can customize it. So instead of 1 hour, we can extend for 2 hours so that we can complete the syllabus as soon as possible.
Yeah. Now, what time does each session take now? If you said it's 5:15, then what time will be each session? Is it 1 hour or 1.5
timings, Mr. Mani will confirm to you. Normally, in the initial stage, because you are new to finance, I don't want to go rush up. Okay.
Okay.
So in the initial stage, I will take 1 hour for 1 week every day. So once if I feel, okay, you are able to understand the concepts very well, I will extend for 2 hours.
Okay.
So that we can complete the syllabus as soon as possible.
Yeah, maybe I need to complete around 30 days or so, because this works for me actually.
Yeah. Because the first thing is I need to check out. So how you are going to understand, how you are doing the practice, I need to look after up to general ledger.
Yeah.
So once if you are perfect, if I feel comfortable up to general ledger, then I will extend 2 hour session.
Okay, sure.
So because here the point is in my teaching, so I am going to see how the student is understanding. and how is
Yeah, I got it.
how they are doing the practice, whether the output is coming or not. In each and every asset,
Mm-hmm.
I am taking care of that.
Mm-hmm. So, is there any way that I can access the online labs also, or
Yes, yes,
can I
I'm going
just
to
download
provide.
the?
See, once I receive the confirmation, so
Mm-hmm.
you will receive the SAP logon pack into to your Gmail ID. Okay.
Okay.
So once after sending that SAP GUI, I will guide you how to install it. It takes
Okay.
minimum 4 hours to install SAP GUI. Once
Okay.
if you install in SAP GUI in your system, it takes 5 minutes to
Mm-hmm.
configure your system.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
this access is valid for 6 months. Whatever the access I am
Oh,
going to
okay.
provide from my end, I'm going to give
Mm-hmm.
you for 6 months. And this is
Okay.
a new access. That means new enhancement access.
So I can just download on my laptop or can
Only the
I?
thing is you need to download the logon pad, which I am sending.
Okay.
And you can use any operating system also.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And you can access this SAP access at any time. This is not remote
Mm-hmm.
access. You can see in
Okay.
my system. The access also I will show you.
Mm-hmm.
This is ECC6 EHP5 access I am giving, which is the
Okay.
latest version in the current market.
Mm-hmm.
So like this, you can access at any time. Just like in if it is installed in your system, how you are going to access, like this only you can access it.
Okay, sure.
Because this is not remote access. Remote access means if I shut down the system, automatically it will shut down to you also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Nothing permissions is required once it is installed in your system. You can log in at any
Oh,
point
okay.
of time.
Okay. Okay.
If anything issues are there with the server access, if you intimate it to me, I will rectify it.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Because I am not taking access from anywhere, so it is in my hands only. I am
Mm-hmm.
maintaining
Sure.
my own servers.
Okay.
Okay. So once if I receive the confirmation from money,
Mm-hmm.
immediately I will start the sessions.
Oh, sure. Do you think, immediately means just in a week or so, just a couple of days?
Yeah. So even if I receive the confirmation by tomorrow morning according to our time, I will start the
Mm-hmm.
sessions from tomorrow onwards.
Okay. So which time do you think is comfortable for you? Maybe in the mornings or maybe it's morning for
What is
now.
the time right now for you?
It's around 10:15 now.
Okay. So if it is at 9 o'clock, that means I think it is 7 for me. So is
Okay.
it comfortable to you?
Yeah, nine is okay for me. Yeah.
Okay. So that means my time is 7 o'clock.
Your time is 7 o'clock. Means it's 8:30 for us. Actually, it won't suit for me. Maybe around 7:30 works for me. Yeah.
7:30. Okay. So I will talk to Money. So you just
Oh, sure.
intimate to Money also
Oh,
according to
sure.
your availability. So based on that, we will
Mm-hmm.
start the sessions. From tomorrow onwards, we will
Okay.
start the sessions.
Okay. Okay, sure. I'll let him know actually. I just need to just talk about the fee details too. Can I speak to
Yeah, yeah.
him
You
over
just
there?
spoke with Mr. Money because he is the administrator. According to time
Okay, sure.
and fee structure, you can directly spoke with Mr. Money.
Uh-huh, sure. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Thank